What's happening, so fam? Antojai here. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how to manifest money super fast. Now, this is an Antojai alchemy technique. So I'm going to be showing you a little bit of the Antojai formulas on how to clear out your chakras with energy work, with quantum Reiki, or any other style of technique that you know of right now with the Antojai formula, all right? So a lot of times people struggle with the fact of money. Like, how do I manifest money? How do I bring it into my life? And people get in these patterns where they can manifest a lot of money out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden the money dries out, and then they manifest a lot of money again out of nowhere, and the money dries out. Now, this is my personal experience working with multiple different gurus on wealth and abundance, as well as going through my own personal work on my own, trying to discover what were my personal blocks, okay? So this is what I figured out when it came to manifesting money super fast in my reality, and I promise you, if you apply this, you're going to see your life skyrocket. You're just going to see a ton of money come out of nowhere, and then it's a process, right? Like, when you manifest the money, you have to follow the process. If you don't follow the process, you're going to see the money just escape just as quickly as it came in, okay? So it's almost like surfing, right? Or rollerblading, or riding your bike, or learning how to dance. You start making the movements, and then eventually it becomes second nature until, you don't even think about it anymore. You just feel like dancing, and you know all the footwork, right? You don't really have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So the first thing that I really want to point out is your main problem likely has to do with your money philosophy. Now, what do I mean by money philosophy? You've probably heard this before, where people are like, oh, I believe money's evil, right? That's one money philosophy. If you believe that money's evil, or people who have money are evil, that's a form of money philosophy that could be holding you back. But the most common money philosophy, believe it or not, is problem solving, okay? So we see money as a means to solve problems, okay? And when you're creating a reality from that design, from that mindset, you're always going to come into another problem that requires more money. Because what you're saying right now is like, okay, I have a problem. The only way to get out of this problem is by manifesting a ton of money to solve that problem. When you get a ton of money that comes through to solve that problem, then you've already created a cycle, a program that says, okay, now the next time you need more money, you're going to need a problem again to be able to manifest more money in your reality. And most people don't really realize that. They see money as a problem-solving mechanism here. And whenever you create reality like that, this symbol right here means the 12th chakra, okay? And this is basically the universal intelligence that you bring into your body. The universe is intelligent and only matches your particular resonance. So if I think the color blue, the universe is going to show me the color blue. It's going to think the color blue as well. So if I think that money is only something that I can use to solve problems, the universe is going to give me problems to manifest money, especially if I'm always saying, oh, I want more money, I want more money, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be a millionaire. It's going to give me problems to solve so I can become a millionaire. And that's where people feel like this fatigue and this resistance, because they're like, I just want it to come out of nowhere. I just want the money to be here. I just want to be having the experience without having to go through all the struggle. You can go and get the money without the struggle. You just have to learn how to manifest properly. You have to learn how to change your perspective and think the way that the universe thinks. A lot of times people are like, oh, I'm going to stay in the same mindset of my own thinking, and the universe is going to eventually change me in some way, shape, or form. That's not how it works. The universe is you. That means it's a mirror. It means it mimics you. So whatever it is that you hold on internally, or you hold outwardly, consciously or subconsciously, right? You're going to basically end up creating a universe with those properties in it. That's why one of my mantras that I teach all of my students, and I constantly drill this everywhere on social media, is my life is easy. I get everything I want easily and effortlessly. That's a mantra that I've trained myself to believe. And I kid you not, I get the most craziest things in the most amazing ways, because I tell myself I get everything I want effortlessly and easily. That's kind of like the mentality I have. I don't even factor in money anymore as something that I need to get the things that I want, because money is not going to solve my problems. If anything, money is just going to give me the ability, and I kind of giggle right now because I think back on like when I was really struggling on money, and I was just like, damn, like how did I figure this out? And then when this came to me, I literally, my whole world shifted overnight. Like I made thousands of dollars overnight, and it was ridiculous, okay? I started changing my mindset by saying, hey, it's not about the money, it's about what I want to create, okay? It's not that I don't have enough money and that's the problem, is that I'm not seeing the bigger picture of what could actually happen, because I could get what I want without the money. I don't ever have to be in possession of the money to get what I want. Someone could easily give it to me. Somebody could easily fund it for me. Somebody could just have the experience for me. And this is where I started seeing like the shift, okay? I started telling the universe, okay, I want to work with celebrities, okay? Before this hit me, I used to think that the only way I was gonna work with celebrities was if I dumped hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to go to their webinars or sign the contract with them or something so that we could work together, so we could be in the same position together. And I said to myself, okay, that's that old way of thinking. I've been hustling so hard to try to figure it out. What if money's not the solution? What if I just say, I want to really just spend time with these people and I want to have fun doing what I'm doing? And the money's just going to show up as a byproduct of me just doing it. The money will just show up to fund the things that I need to do along the way, and then I'll figure out the rest as I go along, right? That's what I literally started saying, right? The problem wasn't money. The money was just a tool for me to make more choices to get closer to where I wanted to be, right? So the first thing I had to do was I had to find clarity. And clarity is in the third eye, okay? A lot of people associate the third eye with intuition, but the third eye is associated to the water element. Each one of our chakras are associated to different element. And the third eye is associated to the water element, indicated by this symbol that I just drew right here, okay? So I had to get clear in my own consciousness. What do I want to do? I want to travel the world, I want to work with celebrities, and I don't want to have to worry about how I'm going to fund any of that. And I said, okay, I'm going to let go of the worry. What is it that I want to do? Focus on what I want to do and keep making moves towards getting there. Don't worry about the money. So that meant whenever I had something show up, because sometimes people create money problems as well. Sometimes you say you want to create the reality where you're working with celebrities, and then something shows itself to you and it says, okay, well now you got to spend $10,000 to get to the next level. And you're like, I didn't want money to be an equation. I didn't want money to hold me back. You have the $10,000, or maybe you don't even have it in full, but you have it in credit. And something's telling you to take the action to spend that $10,000 to get to the next level. In those moments, if you say, no, the money's holding me back, you're not being real. You're not being clear with what you said. You decided that money wasn't going to be the problem. Money wasn't going to be what solves the problem. Money is only a vehicle that makes you make more choices. So when you got clear and you said, hey, I want to work with celebrities, and a moment shows up where you got to spend $10,000 to fund a retreat and fund your trip and fund all the expenses that come with that trip so you can work with a particular celebrity in a situation, you better be like, money's just an ends to a means. It's like, it's not going to solve the problem. This is just part of the vehicle that's going to get me there. I'm going to stay in the water element, the flow, and I'm just going to spend the money. So sometimes people say, okay, money is the only thing that's going to solve my problems. But when you're given the task of spending the money to solve the problem, you're like, I can't spend that money because that's a problem. You're a hypocrite. You're not being clear. And when you're not being clear, you're not opening up the third eye. And when you're not opening up the third eye, you're not seeing intuitively the prompts that are being shown to you to make more money, to walk into the flow of abundance. Because money, abundance, wealth, prosperity, it's a flow, it's a wave. It changes. You got to follow it. You got to tune yourself to it and follow it. The way you do that is by recognizing that you cannot get attached to the money. You can't say the money is what's going to save you, because then you put it on a pedestal. You can't say the money is the last and final resort to everything. Because when you then finally get the money, you're going to realize, and this is something that happened to me. I used to say, oh, when I have $100,000 in the bank, I'll be fine. I won't have to worry about anything. I'm good. That's all I need in my life. And I remember when I only had less than $1,000 in my bank account. And I said, oh, when I have $10,000, everything's just going to be great. I ended up manifesting $10,000, and then I was like, this is not enough. When I manifest $100,000, I'm going to be great. When I finally manifested $100,000, I was like, no, this is not enough. I need $1 million. That's when I'm going to be comfortable. When I did that, I was like, no, I need more. And it was really when I hit 7 figures that I realized there's something wrong here. Like, there's something wrong. I'm not being clear enough, and I need to make sure that I get clear on that, right? And when I hit 7 figures, that's when I was like, the money hasn't changed me. It hasn't made me happy. It has not solved my problems. If anything, it added more problems to the equation. So obviously, this is not the solution. The money's only giving me choices to make. It gave me more freedom to make choices. But as easy as that flow of clarity came into me, I then had to ask myself, what does money mean to me? And this is what gets really difficult for people, okay? Because first it starts off with the money philosophy that it's gonna solve your problems. And when you finally get the money, you realize it's not solving your problems at all. It added to the situation. And then that's a bummer when you get there and you're like, oh, I thought this was gonna be amazing, and it's not, because you're not doing anything with the money. If you're the same person now and you don't change anything, me giving you a shit ton more money isn't gonna fix anything either. You're gonna stay the same person, and if anything, you're gonna squander the money without being able to apply it correctly and efficiently. So that was the first thing. I was like, what does money mean to me? I had to get clear on what I wanted to do with it during my journey, okay? I started thinking about my journey. If money was flow, I needed to get clear as how I was gonna be abundant in my reality with my journey. So I said, okay, what does it mean to me? I had to get clear on, if I have a ton of money, what does it make me feel like? And what does that mean to me? And I realized, well, money to me means power, influence, and success. You may not like it, but that's my truth, right? For you, it might be happiness, freedom, and I don't know, tranquility. For you, it could be like domination or, conquest and complete and total isolation. Whatever it means to you, if people think it's positive or negative, it's neither here or there. If it's honestly what it means to you, that's what you got to run with. So when I understood that money meant power, influence, and success to me, I was like, okay, why does it mean these things to me? Well, when you have money, it is power because you have more choices. Power to me, finally I realized, it's about making more choices. It's not actually being able to like stomp on people or, abuse others or take advantage of them. It was like, no, I have the ability now to make more choices. If I recognize that I need to take a break by, just taking a week off, I can do that, right? That's power to me, being able to make my own decisions and follow those decisions without anyone interrupting me. That's my power. That's my perception of power. Power is going to change for different people. Power for some people is that negative influence of power. But there are people who are powerful who use their power for positivity, right? For good reasons. So for me, it was like, power for me is freedom, is being able to make the choices and the calls that I want to make in my reality. Then I was like, okay, it's influence, because with money, I can then get into places that I normally wouldn't be able to get into, whether that be a restaurant or a social setting or just being able to hang out with specific kinds of people, because millionaires hang out with each other. Okay, that's something like you have to learn if you want to become a millionaire. You got to get into a millionaire circle and start hanging out with these people, and then their energy rolls off on you and you start making those decisions. So I said, okay, if I have more money, then I have more influence in some situations, so I can make more success moves and I can make more success happen in my reality. That's literally what I said. I was like, the money is only giving me the ability to make the shift It is not solving my problems. It is not my hero. It is literally like an SUV that's taking me through the fucking jungle, okay? That's what I felt. So I was like, okay, I got really clear with my third eye, and I was like, okay, what does it mean to me? It's these three things. I said, okay, with power, I want to be able to influence the world and be on podcasts and do this and do that. I want to be able to share the message as powerful as possible without interruptions. I got clear. I want to have influence. I want to work with celebrities so those celebrities can go ahead and share it with their communities on how amazing Antojai is. That's why that's what I'm going to do with the money, okay? And then I said, with all of that, I'm going to recognize more and more and more my success and show people their success stories. So I'm going to be walking in a whole entire avenue of energy that is full of success, not just for myself, but the people that come into contact with me. This manifestation was bigger than me. It wasn't just, oh, I'm going to get the money, I'm going to do whatever I want with it, right? The second thing I did was I started asking myself, where do I have current wealth? Where am I currently wealthy in? How do I take it off a pedestal, okay? How do I free myself right now? So that was one of the things I started thinking to myself. I'm like, okay, well, one way I can free myself is recognizing that if I had a shit ton of money, I would start giving myself 1 day a week to just relax and not do anything, right? I would give myself a Sunday off. And I started saying, you know what? Why do I have to wait till I make a ton of money to give myself a Sunday off? Like, I need to free myself now to then step closer into the vibration of having more money, right? It only makes sense, right? So I know it doesn't make sense that if you normally work 7 days out of a week and you decide to take a Sunday off, that you would make more money. I know it doesn't make sense in this current moment, but you have to start telling reality what you want, because remember, it's only matching your vibration. So if you tell yourself, okay, well, if I had more money, I would take Sundays off. The universe is just waiting for you to just take the Sunday off. And then it's going to be like, oh, you have more money. Boof, here it is. And I've had this experience with so many of my students where I've taught them how to do this, and they're absolutely shocked at how, like, it just comes out of nowhere. Just tons of money comes out of nowhere, because now you're making moves like that person who has a shit ton of money, who can manifest money really quick, because you're making the process of the cosmos work in your favor. So I was like, okay, on Sundays, I'm not going to work. Doesn't even matter what comes with it. I'm not going to work. The moment I decided to do that, because I was like, I can do that right now. That's the easiest thing I can do, is take my Sundays off. I did that. I freed myself in that moment. That meant money was no longer holding itself above me. It was no longer something I'm trying to attain. It's something I'm bringing down to my level. And I'm saying, hey, we're one and the same. What I do, you do. When I step left, you step left, baby. You know what I mean? That's where I was at with it. Then I had to step into my heart chakra, because when I started freeing myself, I really stepped into my throat chakra, and I opened up what in Antojai we call my voice, right? Sound, my authenticity, my wisdom, the power of the cosmos, pi in mathematics is what I opened up. Doorways for me to start expressing myself. And I started thinking to myself, okay, well, how else can I do this? Where else can I find freedom? And I started stepping deeper and deeper and deeper into my truth that money is just everywhere. Money comes to me super fast. I can manifest money super fast. No big deal. Like, it's not even a blockage. It's not a blockage in my chakras anymore. The last step I did, I stepped into my heart chakra, okay? My heart chakra. Your heart chakra is associated to the planet Jupiter, okay? The planet Jupiter is associated to finances. The symbol for the heart chakra and the symbol for Jupiter are quite literally the same symbol. And you can look it up on the internet. Antojai is a language. Antojai, you can pick out these symbols and you know exactly where they plug into. And you can dive more into that in my course. But here, with the heart chakra, during my journey, I was like, okay, where am I giving myself instant gratification? And is it working for me? And I said, okay, how do I spend my money? And I started looking at it, and I recognized that one of the things that I used to do a lot was spend a ton of money on tarot and crystals. And I know you might be like, I love crystals and they're so amazing. And tarot has changed my life. How many tarot cards do you actually need? How many tarot decks do you actually need? Just one. How many crystals do you actually need? How many copies of rose quartz do you need? You technically don't even need crystals to access consciousness. Is it a necessity? And I started asking myself, when I buy a tarot deck, how long does that fulfill me for? Probably all of a week until I get bored of the tarot, and then I want to buy another tarot. That's not really abundant, because the tarot technically isn't bringing back any money for me. I read tarot and I work reading tarot readings for people and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if I didn't do that and I was somebody who was just constantly spending money on tarot, that's not an investment. After a while, I was like, okay, how many crystals can I buy in my house? I can't fit any more in my house. I have so many. And I said, are these crystals giving me an investment back? And I said to myself, well, I'm not going to sell them on Etsy or anything like that, because I love my crystals. So these crystals are also part of this instant gratification that I have that doesn't satisfy me. There's something wrong in my heart chakra when it comes to this. And then I started thinking about, okay, it's not just how I spend, it's how I plan as well. Because you can spend your money now, right? You can get a bunch of money right now and spend it and be like, oh my God, I got $350 and there's seven different tarot cards that I want. You spend all of it and you're left over with $25. That's not planning for the future. I could have taken that $350 and applied it to something else that would help me grow with my money. I had to start thinking, how can I get the most out of that $350? And I said, well, I could spend $100 on Bitcoin. I could then understand that I can keep it in my wallet, just so I can constantly remind myself, hey, look, I got $350 in my wallet. And that was one of the things I started doing. Instead of spending the money on tarot and crystals, I would actually leave the money in my wallet, and I would tell myself I'm not going to spend the money. Not because I'm afraid to spend the money, but because I want to constantly remind myself that I got $350 on me no matter what. Most people can't say that, but at least I have $350 on me at all times. If shit hits the fan, absolutely, only if it hits the fan, I got the money. And I just started living that life. I started holding on to that money. And I started asking myself, okay, instead of spending on a bunch of crap, how can I spend this to shift my consciousness? And in a way, me leaving it gridlocked into my wallet indefinitely was me spending $350. I just didn't spend it on anything. I spent it on my consciousness. I spent it literally on reminding myself that I have the money and I'm rich and I can do whatever I want with it. I spent it for that reason, okay? So then I had to look at how that all played in, okay? So first thing that we have to always remember, money's not going to solve your problems. You're going to get more money and you're going to get more problems. Money only gives you choices in which you can act on, okay? You need to be clear on how you're going to use your choices, okay? What choices do you want to be creating in your life? What do those choices mean to you? Are your choices based off of your core integral values, right, that drive you? For me, it's power, influence, and success. If you've worked with me, my main thing is just getting you to your most powerful, successful, influential state ever. Whatever that means to you. I'm huge on power. That's been my whole entire thing. I want you to become as powerful as you are. If that's my thing, power, influence, and success, I'm going to get clear on where I want that to fit in my journey. I'm going to get clear on where I currently have wealth in my journey. And how do I take away the pedestal that I put money on by taking action now. And then finally, I was like, where can I stop any instant gratification or change the instant gratification that I have? How do I spend my money and how can I spend it more wisely, even if I don't spend it? How do you actually manifest the money? You need to have the mindset, you need to get clear, you need to get honest, and then you also have to be willing to change. This means wish in Antojai, okay? Or in Sanskrit, it means vara, or like a wish. So you need to cleanse your third eye. You need to connect your third eye to your throat chakra, and you need to vibrate that energy into your heart chakra. It's throat chakra, the sixth chakra, the fifth chakra, the fourth chakra. You need to balance boof, boof, and boof. Most people will tell you need to balance the lower chakras to make money. That's if you're moving matter. That's going to incorporate time and space. That's going to take longer, and it's going to be harder, and it's going to require more energy versus you just getting super clear, which puts you into a flow state, being honest with yourself on what your choices mean to you at the end of the day, which open up infinity, doorways of infinity that literally come to you. You start quantum shifting when you become clear, and then you start saying, hey, this is what it means to me. I want to make sure that I am being free in this moment, living powerfully, successfully, influentially on my journey. You had to get clear. And then I started just taking action. I started watching how I could make closer moves while in my flow state. Now, when you do just the throat chakra and the third eye chakra, getting clear with what you truly want to be experiencing, you're focusing on the experience, not the money. That's enough to open up the doorways of manifestation for you, because your third eye is connected to the sixth dimension, 6D. At 6D, everything's available to you. Everything's public information. So you'll start channeling how to even make those moves. You'll dream about, oh, okay, you got clear that you wanted to start traveling more often, and so the way we're going to get you the money is by creating a course. You'll dream about the whole entire course, record that course, and then all of a sudden, boof, you're making a ton of passive income. The fifth chakra, your throat chakra, is connected to 5D energy. 5D energy is all about abundance of authenticity and truth and love. You need to live in the wisdom of your love, in the authenticity of your love, okay? So here you had to start looking at, I'm not waiting for the money to show up to give me a reason to take action. I already have the things that I want. The money's gonna show up just to make it easier along the way. I'm not focusing on the money, I'm focusing on the adventure. The money will show up randomly, and I've met many shamans that are like that. And then when I focused on my heart chakra, the heart chakra is 4D, okay? The fourth dimension, time and space. That's how you step into a flow state. If you're in quantum Reiki, you want to do waters of life, shadows of life, and life. Because when you're honest with yourself and you say, hey, money means power, influence, and success, no matter how difficult it is for you to get to that conclusion, you're already doing shadow work, because you're asking yourself a really difficult question as to what does it actually mean to me, okay? And how do I actually recognize that I'm sitting in my own power in this current moment? That's shadow work right there. Waters of life is just opening up the flow of saying, okay, hey, I'm freeing myself from thinking that I have to get the money in my reality to do things first. And then the life energy is the physical energy, okay? So you're literally saying, I'm getting clear, I'm telling the universe what I want, and I'm embodying it through these chakras. And as you start doing that formula, okay, you get clear, you basically embody it, and you start like living that truth, the universe is just gonna match you, and it's gonna say, here you go. That's it. That's the solution to manifesting money. You enter a flow state when you work on your third eye, throat chakra, heart chakra. When you practice waters of life, shadows of life, life, or water, pi, astral. That's pretty much it. Astral Jupiter. That's it. That's the formula right here. If you want to learn more about these symbols, you can join the Antojai Academy. Link's going to be in the description below, or you can set up a clarity call with me and my coaches, and we'll find a really good fit on your manifestation goals. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if this really ended up vibrating with you. If you want to manifest money fast, okay, get clear on what you want to do. If you want to go on a vacation by the end of the year, say, I'm going on a vacation at the end of the year. Why do you want to go on that? Because you want to feel sexy, you want to feel happy, and you want to feel free. That's why you want to do it. That's your choice. You're going on vacation for these 3 purposes, and that's it. If I don't have the money right now, don't worry about it. The money's going to show up some way, shape, or form. As you do that, how are you already abundant? How are you already abundant? In whatever ways possible. You don't have to put the money on a pedestal to start looking up your trip and start making the plans. You don't have to wait for the money to show up to start looking up how much the airfare is going to be and not getting caught up in the prices. You don't have to wait for the money to show up for you to be able to be like, oh yeah, this hotel looks better than this hotel. Oh yeah, I want to go to Aruba versus going to Egypt, right? You don't need to wait for the money to start doing that. Start showing yourself how you can have that abundance. And then, how are you spending your money to get you closer to having that goal? That's it. Keep yourself accountable. Instead of spending $1,000 on a Gucci bag that you don't need, how about you hold that $1,000 for that trip? And the only thing is, like, as soon as you just say, okay, I'm making action, I'm making moves, I got clear, I know what I want, I know what it means to me, I'm going to start making strides towards it. The universe is like, hey, I know what you want. I'm going to make strides towards you, baby. That's how it works. Very simple. So whenever you feel like you have a client who is really struggling with stepping into a flow state with money, all you have to do is work on your third eye, your throat chakra, and your heart chakra. Harmonize those 3 with whatever energy work you want to do, and you're going to see how your life shifts. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, follow us on Instagram and on TikTok, and I'll catch you in our next video.